Hi, my name is Przemek Chojecki and this is yet another video about GPT-3, this time very practical. So my previous video was about the paper, I went down into details of what they were doing, how big is the model, and this time I just wanted to get over different examples because actually GPT-3 has taken the world by storm and there are really a lot of things going on right now, with a general trend being that GPT-3 can change how we communicate with the machines in a sense that you can put something in simple English and change that into code, completed sentences, layout, even simple reasoning based on what you put into that. So give me examples of those kind of things. I have prepared different tweets of people practicing because OpenAI has beta of GPT-3 which you can test for yourself if you go through the waiting list. So let's start with the first example. The first example being just simple auto completion of what's going on with a spreadsheet, and basically it's really good when it comes to understanding what kind of structure you want to address, and in this example it's actually able to take all the informations about Alaska. You've given just the information about the states like Ohio, Cleveland, I guess, and a couple others, and then it's just giving you the completing the whole thing. So you haven't even written the function. All the information is taken by GPT-3. So that's one of the examples that you can basically do spreadsheets on steroids with much better auto-completion. So this is already super interesting, but not that mind-boggling. Yeah, let's see that to the end, and as you can see, changing just little things, GPT-3 can understand that you want to have a Twitter handle of a particular person that's given on the left. Yeah, so that was the first thing. Let's go to the second thing. The second thing being already something more advanced, namely using simple English in order to do SQL queries. So not only OpenAI can understand what you're writing and translate that into SQL, but then actually just by connecting various scripts, you can do the actual search on your database. So this works perfectly. So again, this is the example of how we can much easier communicate with different devices, with different frameworks, and it's really, really great. So let's go into that direction. Another example that I have is just describing the layout, you're able to get the result. So this is really great because in this example, you, for example, can have like describe what the website should look like, and you get a code in HTML for that particular layout. So again, this means that building websites is becoming much easier and available to anyone. So GPT-3 is actually giving us a tool to democratize not only AI itself, but various tools around it. And as such, it's like a perfect device to progress the technology. So even though, and that's one of the critical things that people are saying, even though GPT-3 is not producing anything new in that sense of it doesn't produce any new research, it won't discover any truths, there's simply no, this logical reasoning is not there, but because of the so much data, so much text being in it, it can make many use cases much faster and technological advancement being much easier to do with this kind of tools. So let's go further in the direction of the layout. Another example is this one. So if you know Figma is often used for front-end development, and actually you can use GPT-3 together with Figma in order to provide you much more advanced front ends that you could have. So in this example, you'll be able to actually describe again in a simple English on the left what you would like to have, and as the result, you get this more advanced views here on the left, which is really great because then you can download the Figma code and have the full mockup just describing what you get. So this is, in a way, it's like working with a graphical designer who will actually build for you the whole mockup for your application right away. And you just save that time by simply working with GPT-3. So that's really impressive. Another example of applying GPT-3 to layout is similar to the HTML code. You can also build a CSS code, so that's somewhat similar. And again, by describing that in like a sentence saying a text input asking for the username, you will get the whole code with a particular button with the particular input that you would get, and you can just use it directly for your website. And here you can see like how small tweaking of the input actually generate a little bit different code with a little bit different result. So there's a button saying login here. Yeah, so let's go on. Another thing which is really interesting is actually building the whole fully functioning search engine on top of GPT-3. And thanks to this knowledge being built into GPT-3, you can quickly make a much better Google search when you actually have the answer right away with a source URL to that fact. So this is really interesting. Going forward, another thing, if you're working in research, then of course you're writing your papers in LaTeX, and LaTeX, even though it's pretty straightforward, sometimes it can be quite daunting, and it's really great to actually see this application when you actually describe what you want to write in plain English, and that's got translated into LaTeX right away, into LaTeX equations. So especially for scientists, that might boost their productivity in terms of writing papers. Going forward, another thing is actually generating code. So I talked already about HTML, CSS, different layouts, but actually GPT-3 can also generate code for machine learning models. So this is pretty interesting because it's like the AI inception of AI actually generating more AI. And in this example, we can see that the input from the user is build a model to classify images into 5 groups. The dataset has 25,000 images with an input shape of 500 by 500. And the answer to that is actually code in Keras, so Python, where you actually have a couple of layers of different neural networks, and it seems fine. I don't know. I haven't read exactly whether this is actually working and how good it is, but it is quite impressive that you actually get these layers, get this code, and it really is another thing that might make working with any kind of computer device much faster. So let's go again forward to another example. This is also similar, but this time we're more concerned with DevOps, meaning we want to create like new clouds or create various stuffs on the cloud, and the work of DevOps is often quite tedious when it comes to creating those instances of new clouds, and this allows you to just describe what you want to create, and again you get the code for creating that you can run in terminal later on. So as you can see, this application is also pretty fun. And in general, if you think about it, those all applications can be summarized in a sense that GPT-3 allows us to communicate with machines, with our devices, through simple English by simply describing what we want them to do, and you get the code that will be understood by the machine. And you can even bypass that step because you can already fit this code to the interpreter, for example, like either Python, Figma, or whatever you want whatever it is that you want to get, and actually be able to get a new web application, a machine learning model to do what you want it to do from simple English. And in total, this really lowers the level of technical sophistication that one needs to build new applications. And this is really great because I'm really forward looking to new examples of GPT-3 and more integration of GPT-3 in various other applications, because probably that's the best thing that can happen. So by itself, I don't imagine GPT-3 being doing anything like a new research or stuff like that, but it can definitely be integrated within various platforms, starting with Figma, ending with Keras or various programmatic interpreters, making everything much faster, much more easily available, or even like integrating that with spreadsheets or like Google Docs or whatever it is that you're using. Definitely that can be made faster using GPT-3. There are also various examples of GPT-3 generating financial statements, generating resumes, but in general the same principle applies. You simply describe something in simple English and then get somewhat more technical descriptions down below, and GPT-3 is really good at this kind of translations, the zero-shot, one-shot translations, when you just show like one example of couple of examples and it gives you something new. So it's really exciting to see these examples. I probably do another review of different GPT-3 use cases in a couple of weeks to see what has changed, what new examples we can see. But in general, this is really impressive, and I'm looking forward to integration of GPT-3 within various ecosystems, because I truly believe that this will benefit both these ecosystems and GPT-3 by itself, and probably GPT-4, GPT-5 would be also great to have. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel, give me a like to this video, and see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.